What's going on, guys? As you probably already know, today is day number 1 for Disney Plus. The streaming service has officially launched, and you will find online right now on YouTube a lot of reviews for The Mandalorian. And that's not what I'm going to talk about. And the reason why I'm not going to talk about that is because I am not going to subscribe to Disney Plus. And the reason why I'm not going to subscribe to Disney Plus is quite simple. Disney Plus has not done enough yet or shown me enough yet to earn my money. And because I don't get these things for free, I am not a part of the media or anything like that. I'm just a guy who's talking to a camera right now with very little people watching. But because of that, I'm not actually going to subscribe. There's nothing there that I really want to see, and since I'm not that big of a fan of the Mandalorian idea or premise, why even bother to do it? So, what I am going to talk about today is something that did occur, but this is something that you kind of expect with these things nowadays. When a new service launches, you're going to expect some bugs, you're going to expect some crashes, and Disney Plus did in fact crash as soon as it launched. So right now we're going to look at BuzzFeed, who, by the way, has decided to go by the most ridiculous of headlines. Disney Plus crashed on its first day, and fans think it's so not Raven. Yeah. Awesome. So Disney fans have been waiting a long time for Tuesday. Ever since the brand announced the launch of the streaming service Disney Plus, people had been getting psyched to rewatch their old favorites. Here's one of the things that people don't know about Disney Plus is that Disney Plus actually does not have the full collection of old favorites. When the WWE Network launched a few years ago, one of the big selling points of the WWE Network was you were going to be able to go back and you were going to be able to watch content from WCW, from ECW, from WWE, from way back in the day, and they stuck to that promise. And as soon as they launched that service, there was already a ton of content there that you could watch from these particular different organizations. It wasn't just WWE content, current WWE content, or even a couple of years. They had a lot of content from back in the day. They had, I believe at the time, they had almost like every WCW pay-per-view. They had every WWE pay-per-view. They had like almost every ECW pay-per-view. And that also crashed, I believe, the first day. And the crash, I believe, was actually not in their systems, but maybe in their billing system. I don't remember the full details, but I remember there was a crash with that. It's understandable that there's a crash. What isn't understandable is why Disney is not actually putting all of their content on there, just sort of splooging it out there. Because they have so much of it. They have so much content. But anywho, as we go here, as the service started rolling out across time zones at midnight, fans scrambled to start streaming everything from old school Disney Channel shows to Star Wars. I don't necessarily believe that is 100% true. That people started scrambling to watch old school Disney Channel's shows. They probably were scrambling to see The Mandalorian. There's been a lot of low-key excitement for The Mandalorian, especially with the big disappointment that The Last Jedi was and what The Rise of Skywalker is turning out to be. The excitement was short-lived. When Disney Plus launched, many users reported that they were getting error messages saying they were unable to connect. So, when it comes to these sort of services, you're going to see a spike. And then as people sort of settle in, it'll get back to normal. This is not something that's so crazy to really see. When it comes to services like this one, or any service, any video on demand service, the load that is on that service, once it reaches a breaking point, it just gives up. It just says no more. It taps out immediately. So this isn't something that's shocking. The way that Disney can spin this, though, is, wow, so many people were trying to get into our service that our entire systems crashed. It was crazy. Like, this is not a bad thing for Disney. Disney loves the idea that their system crashes because it gives this impression that so many people were scrambling to get to it. But it could be just the simple fact that it was designed that way. It was designed that way. But, unless you're behind the scenes, you don't really know. So Justo Ortega, 41, told BuzzFeed News he signed up to Disney Plus back in September so he could watch the new Star Wars series, The Mandalorian. And I think that's what a lot of people are going for. They are going to check out The Mandalorian. And on Tuesday morning, he woke up at 5:30 a.m. so he can start watching as soon as the service launched in Albuquerque, where he lives. The guy woke up at 5:30, man! And then he got the error message, and he went immediately back to sleep. He tried clearing his cache, rebooting his phone, reinstalling the app, but nothing worked. And the reason why it isn't going to work is because it can only hold, it does not matter. You can do whatever it takes. It is only designed to hold a certain amount of people. When you skimp on it a little bit, I don't want to say skimp, because the truth of the matter is it is really hard to tell what your system will hold until you stress tested it. And it's not possible to test something until it really goes live. You really don't know. I mean, I get it. Everyone is trying to stream. So I was figuring there would be buffering issues, Ortega said. But for the whole app to not even work right for the first day? Pathetic. Frustrating. No, this is how things go. I mean, when it reaches that point, it gives up. It gives the ghost. It's done. They will have to go ahead and maybe add more servers or do whatever they're going to have to do. And they're going to be very reluctant to do that, by the way. Add more servers, because that costs money. So they're not going to add more servers to it. What they're going to do is they're going to let this subside, and they're going to let the system sort of get into its ebb and flow. So you may even see this for the next couple of days, where the system's going to go on and off, on and off, on and off, until it slowly but surely just sort of corrects itself. Ortega said he's feeling pretty mad and had hoped Disney might have prepared for issues such as this one. Why would they? This looks great for them. This thing crashing, it tells the world that people so love Disney so much that they rushed to go on the service. They loved Star Wars so much they couldn't wait to see The Mandalorian. They did it in such droves that it crashed their entire system. This billion-dollar system that they put in place. They love it. They love it. While he's still waiting for Disney Plus to start working, there is one thing he's able to stream for some reason. Lady and the Tramp is still working. Well, that's interesting. So, was Lady on a Tramp on a completely different server? Did they just go, we know that there's going to be so much love for Lady and the Tramp that we're going to put this on a completely different server? People love Lady and the Tramp. I think Disney really shit the bed. Oh, Ortega. You're crazy. You're crazy. This is like, ran for about 30 seconds, then crashed, because it just gives up. You remember back in the day, this is, maybe I'm going to show my age here, but back in the day, you would get like static images, like, like snow on your TV if it wasn't quite right. You would still be able to sort of make things out, but you would get snow, and then you would get up there and you would try to move things around, and all of a sudden, boom, there you go. You can get at least a semi-clear picture. And then everything got switched over to digital, and when it got switched to digital, you didn't get that anymore. You just got like, it was on or it was off. And that's because when it comes to digital, when it comes to analog, right, you can have things exist within a space in between. And so things can sort of, they have grades in an analog system. I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but in a digital system, it's all binary. So it's all zeros and ones, and it's either on or it's off, and there's no in between. So when you have a system like this one, Disney Plus service, it's either going to be on or it's going to be off. There is no in between. So this idea that things can throttle itself down and everything doesn't really, I mean, can it? Yes. Will it? No. It will actually just shut itself down, and it will just give up the ghost. And that's what's happening for people like this. Cool, good talk. ran for about 30 seconds and crashed. Not everyone felt mad though. Jason, he's a 20-year-old in Lancaster, said he wasn't surprised such a highly anticipated rollout came with some technical. You should never be surprised with this. The being the first person on the scene when it comes to these sort of launches is the most frustrating experience that you can possibly have. That's why you have to sit back, you have to wait a couple of days, you got to let things settle down a little bit, and then you have to jump on there. I'm not sure we've had a massive rollout streaming service like this before. Netflix, Hulu, etc. has been a gradual rollout over years to get that customer base, and that is absolutely true. One of the reasons why Netflix, and Netflix did suffer its own amount of technical issues over time. But Netflix didn't have this huge of a thing was because you got to remember, Netflix started with a very small base and gradually grew itself. Where Disney Plus is trying to start with every single person who's ever watched a Disney movie ever. So it's not an apples to apples comparison to look at Netflix and Hulu. What more is looking at WWE Network and Netflix. WWE Network launching with so much content already and so many people already ready to jump on the service from day one, and Disney Plus is being in that similar situation, which Disney Plus I'm sure is 100 times bigger than what WWE Network, but I'm sure that they spent 100 times more money on it than WWE did at the time. And so you're seeing very similar patterns between the two, where the network itself is going to crash that first day. But obviously, if the outage lasts an extended period of time into tomorrow the next day, then obviously it may be a different story. And I don't think it will. The system will settle itself down. The system will go ahead and correct. And once it does, you'll be watching The Mandalorian. And apparently right now, you can watch Lady and the Tramp. Well, actually, wait. Misty, she's 37. She said the app stopped responding as soon as she started playing Lady and the Tramp. So maybe not even Lady and the Tramp is safe. Jeez. 4 hours. She hasn't been able to connect. You know, Disney shouldn't be given too much shit for this, to be honest with you. It happens. The consumer demand for Disney Plus exceeded our high expectations. We are currently working quickly to resolve the current user issue. We appreciate your patience. You know, what I find very funny is that I don't think that Disney is going to, maybe give some money back or no. Nah, they ain't gonna do that. They're gonna keep that money. But this is totally... It's exactly what you expect when you're launching a service like this. When you're launching a brand new service to have these sort of technical issues. It's not that big a deal. You move on. You'll be watching The Mandalorian in a few hours. Once people get back to work and life gets back to being settled down, no one's gonna even remember this. So don't give Disney too much crap for this. Give them crap for all the other stuff that they do. Thanks, guys. Go watch your Disney Plus, you losers.